This day is the first day of the magical Hopathon, which is the Disneyland Paris 30th anniversary themed readathon. So I'm getting started with the first book, which is What Once Was Mine by Liz Bracewell, which is a Disney Twisted Tale. If you haven't seen the video before this, I did post a TBR for this readathon. I was hoping to maybe try and finish this whole book today, but I've got a few things going on this afternoon, so I don't think that's going to be realistic, but hopefully I'll have completed this by tomorrow. Although this readathon is 2 weeks long and I have only selected 5 books, so I'm pretty sure I can do 5 books over 2 weeks. This is the first Disney Twisted Tale that I've ever tried, so I'm excited to get started on it, and I will check back in with you a bit later on this morning to see how far I've gotten. I ordered some bookmarks on Etsy and they arrived this morning. So they came with this little sticker that says Romance Reader, which I think is very fitting. These are the 2 that I got. So I got this one, which is the originals, Klaus Michelson themed. So it just looks like this on the front, and then on the back it has a quote. And then I got a Vampire Diaries one of Kai, which is again the same, with just a quote on the back. I believe these were £2 each, and if I remember I'll leave a link to them in the description. They're really good quality, especially for the price, and I'm really happy with them. Now Tuesday and day 2. I didn't get to check in yesterday as I was really busy yesterday afternoon, but I did manage to read the first 100 pages. As I said, this is the first Disney Twisted Tales I've ever read, and I don't know if all of the books are the same, but this one in particular is sort of told from 2 different timelines as such. So at the moment we have the characters of Brendan and Danielle, and Danielle is in hospital and Brendan is retelling the story to her. So she loves watching the movie Tangled, and she's asked him to read the book of Tangled, and he has said that he's read it to her so many times that he's fed up, so he's going to make up his own version of the story. So every few chapters are sort of his version of Tangled and Rapunzel, and then you'll also get a chapter of the 2 siblings interacting as well. I am enjoying it so far, and I know I said I planned to finish it today. I'm not too sure whether I am going to manage that. It's now Wednesday and the 3rd day of the readathon. I have just finished reading What Once Was Mine, and I feel like this was the perfect pick for the prompt of a book that would take you on an adventure. So I think when I started this morning I was on page 235, and the book altogether had 480 something pages, so I've read quite a bit of it this morning. And the story was basically about Rapunzel leaving her tower and going on this adventure to discover who she really is and about the magic of her hair and finding out how this power works. I really enjoyed it. So now I can move on to the second prompt, which was a book which has been on your TBR for a while, and for that I had chosen Cinderella is Dead. I absolutely love the cover of this book and I've heard so many good things about it, so I'm excited to finally start this. So this book has 389 pages, so it has about 100 less pages than the one I've just finished. That one took me 3 days and I'd hoped to finish it in 2, but as this one has less pages, I'm hoping to finish this within 2 days, which will take me to Friday, so then I would have read 2 out of 5 books in 5 days, which means I should still be on track to finish the 5 books I have selected. Now Thursday, so yesterday I started reading Cinderella is Dead. So I'm up to page 164 and the start of chapter 17, and I am really enjoying this book so far. I'm actually enjoying it more than I thought I was gonna. Basically there's this ball that I think all of the girls who live in this place have to go to when they get their invites, and then men pick off who they want to marry and the girls get no say in it. And we have Sophia, the main character, who is completely against all of this. She wants to stand up for herself and be who she truly is. She is trying to persuade Erin, who is the girl that she is in love with, to just run off with her so they can be themselves and be together, but Erin doesn't want to and wants to stay and sort of conform to how she needs to be. And currently Sophia is on the run and she has just met someone called Constance, and quite honestly I probably could have sat and read the entire thing last night, but I had to go to sleep early because I had to be up early this morning. Otherwise I probably could have finished that, but I think I'm going to sit and read this now, and I might be able to finish this by lunchtime. But so far, if you haven't read this book, I would definitely recommend picking it up. So it's Thursday afternoon and I have just finished reading Cinderella is Dead, and I absolutely loved this book. I think this might actually be my favourite book that I've read so far this year, or it's at least within the top 3 of my favourite books that I have read this year. So from when I started this morning to it ending, Sophia and Constance learn that the story of Cinderella that everyone in this village has always been told might not be the real version, and the king was after Sophia and she wasn't going to back down. She's determined to prove that the story was a lie and to stop the balls and to stop the way of the king's rule. And I don't want to give any spoilers, but the last lines of this book I just thought were really nice, and yeah, I just really love this book. I would still say definitely pick this up if you haven't read it yet. I've already recommended this to my best friend this morning as I've been finishing it, and she says that she thinks she might try this one as well. But I just loved how Sophia and Constance took up for themselves and what they believed in, and fought for equality for all of the girls and women in the town, and how they didn't stop no matter what was thrown at them. So now moving on to the third prompt I chose, which was to read a book with a mischievous main character. For that prompt I chose Collided by Lauren Asher, which is the second book in the Dirty Air series. This book I don't have a physical copy of, so I will be reading it on the Kindle app. I'm going to get started with that this evening, and I probably won't finish that tonight, but hopefully I'm going to finish it by Saturday, depending on how I get on, as I did only pick 5 books and this will be book 3, and I still have 10 days left of this readathon with only 3 books left, so I'm not going to push myself as much now I have completed the first 2. I think I am going to go back and look at all of the prompts again and maybe pick out a few more and pick out a few more books, because I think I'm definitely going to be able to finish this within the 2 weeks now. Since I last updated on how I'm getting on, it is now Sunday, it is Easter Sunday. This morning I went on a walk with my mum, so I thought I'd film a few clips from that which you would have already seen. So I am still reading Collided by Lauren Asher. I am currently on page 261 and it's showing that I am 61% through with the book. If I push myself I can definitely finish it today. This book seems a little bit more adult than the first book in this series from what I remember. It's definitely a big difference from the young adult books I have been reading the last couple of days, but yes, I am enjoying it. So the 2 characters, Liam and Sophie, have this obvious connection, but Sophie doesn't really want to act on it, and Liam has just been kind of pushing her, not pushing her into it, but trying to tell her why they should just do it, and just got to the point in the story where they finally kind of given in. So it has taken just over halfway through the book for anything to properly happen between them. But yeah, I am enjoying it so far. I'm definitely going to continue with this series once I finish this readathon. I've not been reading too much over the last couple of days because it is the bank holiday weekend, and I've just been really busy and out and enjoying the weather and not necessarily reading, although I have found it helpful that over this weekend the book that I have been reading is on my Kindle app, so I have been able to just read as I'm out and about. So I have still been reading, but not as much. But I'm going to set myself the goal to try and finish it today. If not, I'm definitely going to finish it tomorrow. And then today is the end of the first week, so I've got 1 more week and 2 more books on the TBR from what I chose. So still on track, hopefully still going to finish. Going to try and get in a 6th book at the end of this next week, but we shall see. Later in the afternoon now, and I have finished reading Collided. There was a little more drama towards the end of the book surrounding Liam coming to the end of his contract and being offered a new one, but there were consequences to him taking this new contract and then finding out actually some people have been going behind his back. It was a good book. So now I am going to move on to my next prompt, which was to read a book which brings you comfort. So I was stuck between two books, so either Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone or Girl Missing by Sophie Mackenzie, and right now I still don't even know which one I want to pick. I feel like if I pick Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, I can probably sit there and actually finish this today. I know I'll sit and read this, but I also really love this book. I don't know, I think I probably am gonna go with Harry Potter just because I think I can finish it today, and not that I'm trying to rush my way through this challenge, but yeah, I don't know, I think this might fit the prompt better. I don't know. It's Monday. I finished reading Harry Potter this morning. I read the majority of it yesterday, and then I think I had the last 20th pages to finish off this morning. I don't really think there's too much to say about Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. I'm pretty sure the majority of people have read the book or seen the film and know what happens, but really loved it. And once I finish this challenge, I think I'm going to go back and read the rest of the books just to finish the entire series. So now I'm on to the final prompt and book of which I'd originally selected, with the final prompt being read the first book in a series, and for that I'd chosen Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. I did start reading this book this morning. I'm on page 20, so I'm not too far into it, but by the sounds of it, this is a mix of real world and fantasy world, which I think is going to be intriguing to see how that plays out. As I'm only 20 pages in, not too much has happened, you're just being introduced to the characters. I think today I'm going to set myself the goal of reading the first 100 pages. It's now Wednesday, and I have to admit that I have been really slacking with my reading, so I am still only on page 102, and it's not that I'm not enjoying this book, because I really am. I've just been procrastinating reading. I think one of the reasons why I'm taking this slow is because I don't usually tend to read fantasy, and when I do, I tend to just sit and read really fast, and then I get confused, and I feel like I could get easily confused with this book if I don't focus on it. So I don't just want to sit and read for the sake of reading. I just want to sit and read when I'm in the mood for reading, if that makes sense, so that I fully take in the story, don't end up getting confused, and then end up hating the book because I didn't understand it. So I've still got about 300 pages to go, I think. Yes, there's 427 pages, so I know I will definitely finish this by Sunday. I think it's unlikely now that I am gonna fit in a sixth and final book. I think this is gonna be the last one I get to. I'm going to try and read a little bit more of it this afternoon, and then this morning I went out shopping, so I didn't have any time to sit and read, and I have got 2 new books. So this first one actually arrived this morning. I bought this off Vinted, and it's The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. I didn't realise it was going to arrive today, but it was quite fitting because I went into Waterstones because I've got a gift card, and I picked up Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher, and these are both part of the same series. So I think this is book 1 and this is book 2, and I'd been really wanting to read these. I'm really excited I've finally got both of these. Friday afternoon, and I have just finished reading Daughter of Smoke and Bone. I'm very glad that I bought this whole series in one go, because it means now I can just continue on, because I really want to know how the story is going to progress. I was not expecting what happened in the last 100 pages. I don't want to give anything away in case you've not read this yet. Someone who doesn't really read fantasy and isn't really into fantasy, I did really enjoy this. So if you also aren't really that into fantasy and haven't tried this, I would definitely recommend giving this a go. So there is still 2 days left of the magical Hopathon. However, I am not going to push myself to read any more books, because I feel like I'm just going to be rushing through if I pick on more, and I don't want to do that. I just want to say I've completed the TBR that I originally chose, and therefore completed the magical Hopathon as such, and I really enjoyed taking part in my first readathon. It definitely pushed me to read a little more than I usually would, so I'm definitely going to be on the lookout for any more readathons that are being held. And I apologise that this, if you have got to this far, that this video probably wasn't the most exciting. I was hoping to add in a little bit more of me actually doing stuff and not just me updating you on the books, but honestly I've not really done too much other than read for the last 2 weeks. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you again next week.